Hello, welcome to MomCave Live this week.
Hi.
Hello.
Everyone. Hello, world. Thanks for being here, everybody. This is Eileen, also known as Mamafry. She blogs at Autism with a Side of Fries, and is really funny. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
We're psyched to have you.
How is everybody tonight?
I'm tired.
Me too.
I'm at the office and with child.
I should be in my pajamas by now.
You can drink on this show.
Oh, geez, if I had known, I would have had the corkscrew ready. Oh, see?
There you go.
You have one for me.
I thought that went without saying that we usually drink on this show. I'm not, because I'm the pregnant one, but I wish I were.
I tell you what, I will have one for you later tonight because I'm a team player like that. So I'll drink later.
Take one for the team.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I don't have anything in this house except my husband's Mike's Hard Lemonade, so that will have to do.
Well, it's really great that we have Eileen. It's great timing that we have Mamafry right now because this month is Autism Awareness Month, and Eileen started blogging because of her journey with her son with autism, but her blog is about so much more too. It's hilarious. I think you had a big milestone.
Yeah,
you had a big milestone today, yeah?
A huge milestone. My Facebook page for Autism with a Side of Fries hit 40,000 likes, which was amazing. I often say, like, if everybody could just send me $1, this would be great.
Yeah, seriously. That's $1. That
would be perfect. $40,000.
How long have you had the Facebook page? How long have you been keeping it up, the blogging?
This is about 2.5 years so far. It's been quite a runaway train for me, which is a great analogy because my son's obsessed with trains. But really, it keeps barreling, and I still look at my phone every once in a while, like, I'm in charge of this? Like, really? How is this possible?
About motherhood in general. Every once in a while, you're like, who let me do this? What am I in charge of?
Absolutely. I mean, I say I went pro because before I was a mom, I was working with special needs kids. And then all of a sudden, I got called up to the majors, as I call it, and it's a whole other ballgame. And I only have him, so this is really the only parenting I know. I don't know it any other way. So, I am the go-to autism girl, but like when I write about my blog, it is about my journey with motherhood as well, because this is all I know, So every once in a while, I hear somebody say something, I'm like, oh, that's what someone does with a neurotypical child. Ah, I see. I really don't understand, it's totally different for me. So, but yeah, so the blog and the page itself has been just really a great, fantastic thing. I hear from people all over the globe, which is awesome and amazing. To get an email from somebody from Australia and say, oh, your blog really made me happy the other day, which, like that's crazy. I'm a suburban housewife from the burbs of New Jersey. This is just not what I expected when I first started doing this. So it's been really cool.
Was there a particular blog or moment when you figured when it kind of blew up for you?
I wrote a blog. I called it the Letter to the New Autism Parent, and I started it with the line of "Welcome to Club Spectrum" because like I just felt like I wish this was kind of the letter someone had given me. Because, like I said, when I worked in the field, it was one thing, but when it was your kid's name and all the paperwork, it's a whole different set of feelings and rules. So I kind of wrote that. That was probably my most personal-based blog post because I wanted to give what I wish someone had said to me to more people coming behind me. And that one went crazy nuts. Like, that one was insane. But there's been a couple others since then that have gone pretty nuts, both good and bad. But that's blogging, right?
Right.
And you write
the
something.
One that I love.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
You write one, and you never know how someone's going to take it, both good and bad. So that's just the luck of the draw. So
That's part of it. The more people that read it, the more you'll have, some that don't like it. What are you going to do?
Exactly.
But so I thought it would be a great topic to talk about. Eileen wrote a really funny and helpful post called was 6 Ways How Not to Lose Your Shit. And it was, I guess you wrote it in the beginning specifically for parents that were just starting this journey of learning that their child had autism. But it became so much more general because as a mother, there is always something to lose your shit about. So
I wrote this basically because if the hardest lesson I learned from becoming a parent is that parenting is never done. There is no clocking out at the end of the night. You are always on call. You never know when the next disaster is going to occur, and that's just very losing your shit worthy constantly. So that's where this post was coming from. So should I just I'll go through the top 6 points of the post. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Well, the first tip that I always say is accept the fact that you've already lost your shit, and that when that's a very freeing moment. It's already gone.
Yeah. Acceptance is usually the final stage of what is it?
The grief stages.
Yes. Grieving.
Yes.
Here's the first stage.
I do it reverse, but to me it's just you can always juggle for so long, and as soon as you start realizing, oh my god, I'm going to lose my shit, it's already gone. Just accept it. I say it in the post. Be like Elsa, let it go. Just let it go. It's already gone, and it's okay because eventually everything that you're juggling constantly, the therapy appointments, the homework, the school things, the job, the husband, the house, gonna come crashing down, and that's okay. So acknowledge the fact that you've already lost your shit. And sometimes people don't want to do that, but we're human and we should. So the second
one, want to share an example of when you may have lost your.
Oh yes, I think my stellar parenting housewifey moment was preparing a meatloaf for my husband and my son, and taking it out of the hot oven as it was finished, and just tripping, and the whole thing went crashing onto the floor, and I just lost it. I don't even know what it was. It was a meatloaf, big deal, but to me it meant everything that day because all of a sudden dinner was not on the table. The dinner was being attacked by my 2 dogs on the floor. So, but there was, my husband and my son. Well, my son didn't really care, but my husband's like, it's all right, and that for me was one of those tip-off moments where I'm like, no, it's not okay. I ruined the meatloaf, and it's meatloaf. Who cares? You order pizza. So we've all been there.
Yeah. I think one of my worst was I was just having one of those days with my son where he was doing everything to drive me crazy, and my husband was out of town. He had been out of town for a long time, and at the culmination of it, after about 50 timeouts, I just went into the kitchen, slammed the door, screamed as loud as I could, and I threw the recycling bin down on the ground. It cracked. It broke. It shattered. And then my son's knocking on the door. Mommy, are you okay? Are you hurt? And of course it felt terrible. Then my husband came home later that night and he's like, what happened to the recycling bin? So just had to say I broke.
Eek. We've been there.
It's better to take your anger out on recycling bins than people, I think.
I think so. I agree.
I like to give myself timeouts before I lose my shit. Count to 10 out loud, and the girls look at me like, what is she doing?
That's a good thing, though, because it kind of gives them
That usually works for me.
Yeah.
That will work for me, because if I start counting, then...
like mommy's a tick.
If I start counting, then Xander's going to continue, and he's going to go all the way to 100, and then it just doesn't end.
I think as long as you don't count down backwards, because then it is like a ticking time bomb or the rocket about to explode. Count forwards when you're angry. So, okay. Then we had a little sidetrack there, Eileen. What were your other points about what to do?
I think one of the, and especially for an autism parent, is that you have to accept that you're going to have multiple mini breakdowns. You know, it's okay to have more than, you know, I can't believe I can't keep holding it together, or, you know, this week has been really horrible. Oh, now this week has been really horrible. That's just life. You're going to have some crappy stuff sent your way, especially in the beginning parts of the journey of autism with your child, figuring out what works, settling them into school routines. And, you know, I think that's with any kind of mom dealing with their children, trying to get them situated on the right path. You're going to screw it up every once in a while, and you're going to, like, really feel horrible about it. And you're going to have little breakdowns, and that's okay. And I'm a big fan of, like, running into the bathroom and closing it and shutting it and just pretending I have, you know, some sort of female issue if it gives me 2 minutes of peace.
That's always a good excuse.
Exactly. I think my family thinks I have my cycle, like, 28 days out of the month, but...
They're big at hiding in the bathroom around here. Valisa's hiding in the bathroom as we speak.
I call it the pity party for one. Just close the door and just enjoy. Whoa.
Oh, he's spelling Chipotle. Anyway.
He's spelling Chipotle.
Good for him.
Dad got Chipotle tonight for him, and he's spelling it. So there you go.
Good for him. He had fries in honor of me. Next time.
What's number 3 on the list?
Number 3 is that the shit that you're desperately trying not to lose is the shit that makes you sad. And to me, it's really acknowledge your feelings inside. Moms get so worried about losing it and failing their families that they don't acknowledge their feelings inside. And I think that's terrible. Like, your feelings are valid. They're not you know, I always say, a friend of mine told me once, it was the best piece of advice I've ever gotten, was that your feelings are information, they're not instructions. So you can have your feelings, and that's okay, but it doesn't mean that's the way it's going to be. So just have your moment, acknowledge how you feel, and then you move on. And that has gotten me through many a bad day.
Definitely.
I mean,
okay, what's the next one?
One of the most important ones, ask for help. Many times when you either become a mom or when you're starting any sort of journey with a challenge with your child, whether it's special needs or medical, everybody is always first to go, oh, how can I help? Or I want to help some way. And, you know, you either brush it off or maybe you take them up on it once. Well, years go by, you still need help. And you need to ask for help. And usually go to those people that first ask, because they're probably going to say yes anyway, you know. And if they do, I'm a firm believer of ride or die friends. You're either with me or you're not. But most likely, if they're your friends, they're going to help you out. And whether it's they take your kids for an hour so you can take a walk around the block, or, you know, just listen to you on the phone one day, or hang out with you while you're on the bathroom on a live conference chat like this, so you can talk to another person and be able to feel like you're being heard. So don't always remember, ask for help. And
probably not a good idea to send a group text, SOS, I need help.
Well, you know, you don't want to alert them all the time, but
I can't remember giving personalized messages. I have to do the group text. I don't have time. Hopefully, if they're still my friends, they'll get it. Okay.
All right. The next point that I write about is allow yourself to screw it up, because you will. Especially with autism parenting and special needs, is that you will research and find out different therapies and medications and doctors, educational techniques for your kid. You'll do them, you'll apply them, and then later on down the road you'll realize that was the worst decision you could have made, or it wasn't the right thing for your child at that time. You didn't mean it, you know, maliciously. You were doing the best with what you had. And just
trial and error.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to happen. There's going to be some day my son will come up to me and go, what the heck were you thinking? And, you know, what can you do? It just, it happens. It's you know, but that's life and that's parenthood.
I think a good technique for dealing with that is to think about, like, the previous generations, because we're trying so hard. Not that they weren't trying, but they weren't as concerned with every little thing than we were. So whenever I feel like I'm doing a bad job, I'll be like, yeah, my grandmother would have just locked the kids out of the house while she smoked a cigarette, and they turned out great.
Yeah.
So
it's
all relative.
Exactly. I also believe the firm philosophy is, every once in a while, God gives you a free one. So, I mean, if you're kicking yourself because, oh my gosh, this could have been a disaster, why did I do this? Well, some higher power was watching out over you, You got a free pass that day. Just go with it. Right. And don't kick yourself for it. So, and then the most important, the number 6 tip is you didn't really lose your shit. You've just misplaced it, is how I call it. You can take a deep breath. You can try again. You can call it a wash. Next day will come, and you can try it all over again. So just as long as you're not sitting and wallowing in it, you'll be all right. You'll find your shit the next day. It's most likely, in my son's room somewhere underneath all those things. But that was a lot of the post. That was the post I've written, and it was. I guess I have to say, when I wrote it, was definitely I was thinking more of the special needs parents. But it really does. When I think about it, the more I think about it, it applies for all parenthood. And what folks go through. So
that's kind of what we like to talk about a lot here. People may think that we're insane or heavy drinkers, but it's that it's so hard. Yeah.
Go ahead.
People don't often admit how much they lose it as a parent. So I say we're doing a public service here. So thank you for sharing all of that. We can just admit it. We're losing it all the time.
We're losing it all the time, and you'll find it tomorrow, and it's okay. And it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But it is. It's a hard thing. I mean, you go through it as you get so excited about having that new baby come home, and let's face it, you didn't realize how much work it was going to be. It's hard.
You never know.
No.
You don't know what you're going to get. That's just the way it is.
And that's just it. I mean, I went through 20-something months of toddlerhood and a baby, and then all of a sudden they're like, poof, no, now we're going to add autism. That's just life. Life's going to throw curveballs at you. You got to roll with it. So I lose my shit pretty much on a daily basis. That's what I say. And then I find it again.
And on that note, we're almost out of time. Look for your shit wherever you can find it, people, wherever you think it may be, whatever makes you feel better. We have a giveaway going on this week that I'll put a link under the video. It's for Our Generation Girl Dolls. And what else? I don't know. It's all very exciting. We're having a lot of fun things happen over here. But I'm so glad we got to talk with you, Eileen.
I was very excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on.
And now
everybody, so tell us about how you lost your shit. We'd love to hear.
I'm going to look for my shit in my bottle of wine.
It's in my purse. Put it in my purse. I always forget I leave everything in there.
Okay. So our conclusion for this week, look at the bottom of your purse or your wine to find your shit.
That's good.
Okay. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.